Hello everybody and welcome back to Astroneer with your friend Kuros Paladin. So I have an update to my rails and blocking logic, or where I have block detection so that trains can basically exist on the same network and pass each other with no real problems using sidings, where trains will wait in a siding for another train if the block that it is headed towards is protected or already occupied. So right now I have a loop on this save. This is a save that I play. It's one of my big saves, and Cole is wandering around right now on this loop. It's about 2 minutes per loop. In fact, probably in about 20 seconds or so, Cole will be zinging by here. So Cole is just going around and around and around clockwise, as it were, which would be from left of the screen to the right of the screen. What I'm going to do is show you how I can get around trains meeting each other and getting into a Mexican standoff. So we're going to wait for Cole to go by, and then we're going to go the opposite direction so we can meet Cole. So should be coming by fairly soon here. There. Okay, there's Cole. And zing. Hey, Cole. Alright, so Cole's going to continue on going where Cole goes. Cole is as Cole is as Cole goes, whatever. So we're going to head this way. The opposite direction. So right here, you've seen these in my other video, I just have a visual clue that shows, hey, this block that's ahead is clear. So we're going to move ahead, and you can see as soon as I got into it, it changed to that. So this block that I am now in is considered occupied, and the signals on either end visually protect it, and there's also a switch headed to, you can see the beacon up ahead. I almost said bacon up ahead. Bacon. But anyhow, the beacon up ahead is where the other switch is. And I got a little fun. I had a little fun with this. I have a approach signal or a repeater, which basically will give me a prepare to stop. In fact, that is what it is currently showing, a prepare to stop, that backslash. And then up ahead, you can see the actual block up there is blocked or occupied. That's because Cole is already there. So Cole is in that next block. You'll see the switch up ahead is also set where this car that I'm in, okay, so something got messed up between, nope, there, yeah, okay. So you saw when Cole left that block, both those signals changed to proceed. And you can see Cole is just waiting there on the siding. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to proceed forward. Now I have to have a delay there because it takes a while to get from there to there, but in a second or so, boom, Cole will now continue on Cole's way. And then here, if we just sit here, we can basically, you know, it had to be 2 minutes or so, but I can sit here and watch this signal. You know, I could watch both of them, and the next time Cole comes around in 2 minutes, Cole will just, you know, whatever, will just zing right by, because this switch will align itself to protect that block. By the way, you heard the little squeak horn? That is over here on this one. Whenever whenever that block is occupied or vacated, it just sounds that little horn. I don't know why I put that there. It was just a funny little thing I did. But anyhow, when Cole gets into this block, you'll see immediately this switch will set itself to protect this block from anything on this rail from getting through. It'll have to stop there. And then as soon as Cole gets through with a delay of, I think it's 50 cycles, after the block is vacated, then the switch will align itself so that traffic can then enter that block. So fairly soon that should switch over to being occupied. You know, I just continued to use the transit signals, although the backslash, as I'm calling it here, the diagonal. Really, there, it just changed. So coal just entered that next block. The diagonal usually means turn, but I wanted to be somewhat consistent, so I figured, a backslash kind of indicates, hey, you're having to slow down. And you saw also when that switch, or when that changed, it also aligned to that switch. And then when coal comes through here, there's coal, and if I can get into this fast enough, we'll just go right up to here. Boom. And here goes coal. And then my hands are off the keyboard at the moment, although Dax's paw is on the control key. She is in control. Boom. It goes forward. So I'm really happy about this. This is really cool, but it only works for cars that are zombie cars, which means you set them off and they just keep going until they hit a dead end. Called cars that have a specific destination, they just won't work because they have a mind of their own. They'll set the points and switches to however they need to go and override things so they can get in the way and mess up. Now, when a block is vacated, it will, of course, change to set the points back the way they should be, or set the switch back to the way it should be. I say points, but these are monorails, so they're not really points. But anyhow, here's the other end of that block. And yeah, it's way the heck up in the air because when I built this segment, I was going up so I could go over a road, and also you can see over to the left over here, it follows the mountainside. So here comes coal. So that's why it's way up in the air like this. But now coal will wait because I'm in this block. I'll come through, and then the same thing as before. It'll set itself after 50 cycles, boom, and coal can continue going on. Now, this switch is not part of the setup yet because this block up here, you can see there's no signal because I don't have this block monitored yet. So if I go forward like this, I will run into a Mexican standoff with coal if I go this way because coal is so darn fast. Probably already past that next block and getting into where this one here. So it takes a lot of button repeaters to do this because I discovered button repeaters, you can only extend the segments, the pin segments, until you're out of the rendering distance of the button repeater that it's attached to. So about every other rail post, I have to put down another button repeater. And you have to put them in both directions. So unfortunately, it takes a lot of setup, but it's working extremely well. I'm very happy with it. Oh, look, we're going to meet right here at my main base. Look at that. Hi, Cole. Hi. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and take over the station. You shall not pass. So, all right, so we're going to see if I can actually tag coal as it goes by. Boom. There, okay. Excellent. And then I can put my rail car back over here where I was letting it sit before. Boom. Okay. So there you go, folks. I'm not going to showcase this particular save. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've got my little farm going over here with an aqueduct coming out of the, the mountain stream or whatever, the mountain lake, with water coming down to fill up a retaining pond over there. I had a lot of fun with this save. This is one of my big saves. But this is where I really got into putting down rails because this is the most recent save. And all my other saves, I just didn't have the space to put down something very well. But it's working out really great. I know all of you, I'm hoping, really love what Rails has brought to Astroneer. I'm having a lot of fun. I still have a couple of other things I want to do. I've got at the other end of this over here. Okay, what the heck? I said I'm not going to showcase, but we're only about, so many minutes in. I might as well go ahead, show off. I've got a large automation thing going on this way. And again, this is not a protected or whatever. This block is not monitored. But I know this is the only train here at the moment that's moving around. You also see, when I lay out rail networks, I have a little kink there that I got to fix. But I try to follow the terrain if I can. And I use a combination of tall rail posts and short when I'm going over terrain that's kind of all over the place. So, but anyhow. So here I have my automation. And what's going on here is I've got 2 auto extractors running. Oh, and I do have a stalled Astronium train, so my... Alright, so this did not work out the way it should have. There's something going on here. That should be like that, and then this should be off, which it is. Okay. But yeah, it just dropped off a whole bunch of Astronium from the core. And then I have a wonderful little conveyor line here going where it picks up off the station, sends it down. Somebody probably already did this once. I just thought of it here. Why have the auto arms all be on? They only activate when the storage is not full. And then when the storage is empty that they're pulling from, they shut themselves off. So it works out really kind of cool. You don't have to turn them on and off. They just turn themselves on and off as needed. It gets a little bit dicey over here with my smelters, but because the smelters don't drop them off in a consistent pattern, so it'll drop something off. The auto arm will pick it up, so it will set itself to turn it off after a 25 cycle delay, because of course you want the auto arm to drop the item off. And then while that cycle is going, another item shows up from over here and resets it, and that kind of messes this one up once in a great while. But look, they all turn themselves off. So, oh yeah, it looks like, oh, while I was talking, ha! So, while I was speaking, the compound snuck up behind me and dropped off its load. So yeah, I've got compound and Astronium going. I actually had 4 going at once. I had compound, Astronium, clay, and resin all going at once, all feeding into here, and they all sorted themselves out fairly well, except for that little mistake right there, which I'll have to figure out what happened. It might be because I ripped up this rail over here, and really what I should probably do is that one should probably be off there. When I ripped up that rail, it probably messed things up. So, because you can see I've got a hovering pin here. So, but anyhow, what happens is a train will just wait until this part is clear. It worked out really well. So, like I said, I ripped up all the rail that was over here, but it went off to a clay deposit over here somewhere, and you can kind of see the resin deposit that I was picking up from over here. But I now have enough resin that I don't need to worry about that anymore for a while. So, but, okay, I said I wasn't going to showcase. I ended up doing it. So, this is what I love about this game. You can be creative. You can figure things out. You can problem solve. You play it however you want to play it. The self-directed open goals about this game that I love. It does get a little frustrating at times. You know, like system era, why did you give us this large storage silo and then not let the auto arm actually cover if it had storage on it? But you know what, now that I think about it, if I flattened them all out, it might work. It looks really bad, but it might work. But you know, maybe I'll do that later. Yeah, and then here, arg. Yeah, actually, it looks like flattening them out does help. So, it does bring them in a little bit closer. But anyhow, you can see when those finally empty, it'll trigger when it picks up those last 2. I don't like how it clips through, but oh well. But watch, when it picks up that last one, There, it sets the delay, it turns around, and then it turns itself off. So that way it isn't draining power. Yeah, everybody, I'm going to end here because I've already gone a lot longer than I wanted to. So I hope you have enjoyed this special episode of Astroneer. This is why there wasn't a normal episode of Astroneer this week. I got so caught up in doing this that I lost track of time. Literally, it was like 3 in the morning. So that's a little late for me, so I ended up just not doing one this week. But I did this out of time, or out of the normal schedule, and we'll get another episode up of the normal series next week. So everybody, I hope you had fun. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, take care, good night, and bye.